Hi, thank you for joining me, Wendy Anderson, justbe.me. So in this video, before I get on to the subject, which is about beating yourself up and your inner voice, I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about me and my situation. So 10 years ago, I contracted Lyme disease, just literally walking the dog five minutes from my house. Me and my dog contracted Lyme disease at the same time. So to cut a long story short, I've spent the last 10 years basically learning how to balance my well-being, to balance my health. I'm fully well now, fully. Lyme disease doesn't even enter into my remit. I have no symptoms anymore. I am completely, my health has never been better. But the interesting thing is, over the last 10 years, I've learned so many practices on how I can balance my state of well-being, that no matter what anything arises in my body, I've learned that I can read the messages, and I can, once I've read the message, I can balance it. So basically I don't fear health anymore because I've learned these practices. So six or 7 years ago now, I can't remember, I became, so I was starting to feel well after the Lyme disease and thinking, right, what am I going to do with myself? I was a commercial photographer with a 5,000 daylight studio that we hired out to film crews, photography crews, and I was a commercial photographer in my own right too, and produced videos. So I don't look at the quality of these ones because it's kind of like, it just is what it is. It's just a message that I'm conveying to you. This isn't about selling anything or getting fancy. So it just is what it is. So I then became a bioresonance practitioner. So this really helped me on my journey with my health. It helped me read what was in my body, what pathogens were in my body. So the level of information from these machines is actually phenomenal. I could get information back at cellular level, so I could even read if there was any, so I could read different parts of the cells, nucleus, cell wall, to see if there were any pathogens in there, to see if there were any pesticides, elements, heavy metals in there, damaging the cell wall or nucleus itself. So you could actually see cellular changes. So really interesting level of information. You could also even get feedback such as what species of parasite is actually sitting in your organ, what viruses are sitting in your organ, what bacteria are sitting in which organ or body part. So this works by frequency, energy. So everything is energy. You are made up from energy. The planet is made up from energy. Everything around us has its own unique frequency and energy. So your liver has its own frequency, your heart has its own frequency, your bronchs have their own frequency. So each pathogen has its own frequency. So a pathogen is a bacteria, virus or parasite. So each bacteria has its own frequency, each virus has its own frequency. So that's why how you can read organ frequency, virus frequency. So just by reading the frequencies, you can tell what viruses are sitting in which organ. So yes, this technology does exist out there and has done since probably for about 100 years. So Tesla broached on it. I think Einstein broached on frequency technology. So it's nothing new really. Dr. Raymond Rife broached this technology too. So he built a machine that cured cancer in rats, put it out to the medical press, what his findings, really excited, this was life work, and he was successful. But then unfortunately his lab was broken into, all of his equipment trashed, and all of his files missing. So the poor guy drank and drugged himself to death after that, because he'd attained his life's work, he'd attained his mission in life, and then obviously it was taken away from him. And this was in the 30s, 40s. So this technology has been around, it's nothing new. Look into it, do your own studies around this, look into it, it's really, really interesting. So frequency work. So this year I actually realised that I can actually do these readings without a machine. So I actually gave up my machine and just started to teach other people how they could do their own readings. So you sitting out there could actually read in from your own body by certain methods that I teach. What pathogens are literally sitting in what organ. You just need to ask the body and it will give you feedback. So your body is like a smart computer, really, that you can program it and you can also receive information from it as well. So you are so phenomenal. You really do not realise your level of unlimitedness out there. So this is what I teach. So basically, as a bioresonance practitioner, it was kind of like me doing the work felt not the best path anymore. So I gave it up this year because what I wanted to do was not put the power stance on me, so to speak. I'm only merely a conduit. So I wanted to give the power back to the individual. So rather than me just using machines to kind of like remove toxins and pathogens, it didn't feel right anymore. It didn't feel like it was part of my highest timeline. And I wanted to give the power back to the individual to learn how to do it for themselves. So you all have the capacity to do this. You all have the capacity to healing. It's just that many of us just need to get out of our own way. So you've got an immune system and it works absolutely beautifully. The majority of the time, there's just certain things that will block it. So pesticides, toxins, belief systems are a really big one as well that can kind of keep pathogens just kind of clogging up somewhere. So in practices, in kind of like little studies that I've done myself with beautiful people that have helped me with some of these studies, like clients that have agreed, yeah, you can take readings before and after, things like that. So we took readings before and after meditations, and the readings changed energetically. They changed, the organs started to clear, toxins started to clear. So the benefits of meditation can literally be life-changing. So a little daily practice of meditation can really help some people. Some people as well that are not ready for meditation as well. So people that find it really hard just to be still, just to get into a particular zone. You can do walking meditations. So people think you've just got to be still, sit, cross-legged. I mean, it's not at all. You could go for a walk and that is still classed as meditation. So get out in fresh air, really clears the lungs and respiratory system. So if you've got anything going on here, a walking meditation, or I call it air treatment, fresh air treatment is really helpful for clearing the respiratory system, as just in my own findings basically. Breathing techniques. So Wim Hof, absolutely amazing guy, love it. His teachings are fantastic. So breathing techniques, you can find these breathing techniques on YouTube. Qigong breathing. So there are many various different techniques, and it's just finding one that resonates with you. So I found before and after tests as well, I had an energetic value as well, that the body started to clear toxins, it started to clear pathogens. So again, a daily practice of just using some breath work, Qigong breathing, really good practices. Tai Chi, gentle movement practices as well. So this is movement in meditation, can also have the same effect. Shamanic dancing has the same effect. It can clear kind of pathogens and toxins as well. So maybe our nomadic ancestors and the indigenous people of this planet hold actually a lot of knowledge that we can actually tap into at this time, and revert back to that, because they are the ones that are untouched by a lot of toxins and pathogens and things that are going around, because spiritually they kind of like, they know how it works and they know how to release things through age-old traditions and practices and ritual. So really interesting. So anything to do with ritual as well, basically just emphasises the power about whatever it is you're sticking in your ritual. So that is the point and of Indigenous rituals, that the more you do it, the more energetic power it is building. So really interesting. So so that these are some little tips of how you can have a little daily practice in your routine, in your lifestyle, to help start clearing your own body, to listen to your inner voice. Your body never lies, always tells you the truth. It is your compass at the moment of embodiment into guiding you. So if you are coming away from loving yourself, your body will tell you. You're coming away from loving yourself. If you're coming away from loving yourself, you're coming away from loving other people. If you're coming away from respecting yourself, you're coming away from respecting other people. So it's really important to work on the you first before other people. Leave them to do whatever it is they are doing. That's their responsibility. You are only your responsibility to do your own inner work. Which is leading me on to my topic of today, which is beating yourself up in the inner voice. We've all done this at some point. So a little bit of an example of this, and I've done this as well. We've all done this. We just weren't aware of it. So calling yourself names, so you'll drop something and you go, oh, blooming idiot, you know, and you'll call yourself a name for just having dropsies and being a bit clumsy that day. Normally when we're clumsy, it's because we've got an anxiety. So you'll go to reach something, it'll fly off the shelf, or you'll just be anxious about something. If you're having a clumsy day, it's anxiety. So like a dog, you'll see a dog, and when a dog is anxious, it will shake off its anxious energy. So when a dog is shaking, that's what it's doing, it's shaking off. Hey, maybe take a tip off the dog, have a good shake off that energy, or maybe some movement meditation, go for a walk, a little bit of qigong exercises, or yoga. Yoga is amazing as well, because again it really kind of helps you get in touch with your body, because it's like one day you might kind of get through like a routine or nice and smoothly, and then the next day it's kind of like, oh, what's that coming up in my lower back? Or so basically it's messages kind of like all the time. That you could be worrying about money, lower back, or there's something in the heart space, middle back, or something in the neck, potential. So it's giving you these messages all the time. So the inner dialogue when we are beating ourselves up, so you'll be calling yourself, oh, stupid idiot, for kind of, you know, dropping that cup. Or you'll make a mistake. How on earth did you get that wrong? Oh, you know, what you like, I am the most unluckiest person in the world. Anything bad kind of comes my way, and that's just me and how I am made. No, not really. It's kind of like the universe wants you to be abundant, the universe wants you to have a good life, the universe wants you to be well, the universe wants you to be happy. So it's your kind of belief systems around you. So it's just being aware of kind of like, maybe change it up a little bit in a more positive spin rather than a negative spin, and go, yeah, do you know what? Even though it's kind of like you're not feeling it that day, just say to yourself, I'm the luckiest person. I'm the luckiest person ever to walk this planet. And then what will happen is your belief systems and experiences start to change, because your timeline begins to match what you are asking for. So you are wanting to be the luckiest person, you're asking for it, but it's also to have the intention behind the question as well. And the more you ask the question, the intention changes to match the question. So you may say it the first day and go, yeah, the luckiest person in the world. And then day 2, yeah, I'm the luckiest person in the world. Day 3, I'm the luckiest person in the world. Day 4, I am the luckiest person in the world. So you can see how the energy starts to shift. So this is kind of like a ritual. So this is why rituals can be quite helpful to us in our everyday life, in kind of like really kind of like getting that energy increase and really kind of like locking it in into that positivity. So If you're positive as well, your gut health will be nice and healthy. Again, you know, that's quite a big area for pathogens to pass through the digestive system. So if you are in a positive state, pathogens will pass through your digestive system nice and easy. If you are in negativity, you'll be a bit flatulent. So if you are sat there on your couch trumping or going through your day trumping, then it's kind of like your gut saying, you kind of you are creating a negative spin on your experience. Just letting you know to just change it up, that there's something that you're feeling you can't quite digest right now. So basically it's just change the mindset, change the belief system, and it's kind of like, I'm okay with that, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I can see this in a different way. That person may have been a complete pain in the backside to me, but you know what? Maybe they've got stuff going on. So that's changing it up. Not that that person's out to get me. It's just they've got something going on. So this is how we kind of like change it up. Change the beliefs, you change the body. So the body no longer needs to give you the message. So, God, look at the state of that. My backside looks absolutely huge. Oh, look at that cellulite. Oh, look at them stretch marks. Oh gosh, look at them wrinkles. You know, we've kind of all done this, haven't we? So the trick of the day is never leave the mirror in a negative. So even if you are not feeling it that day, and it's kind of like, oh, look at the state of that, that's fat. Oh, look at the size of my legs. Oh, look at them bingo wings. You know, we'll have all this dialogue, all of us, and the guys, you know, be like, oh, look at my chin. Oh, look at my guts coming on. Oh, I look like I've ironed my shirt round a barrel. You know, it's kind of like all these things come up. Never leave the mirror on a negative. So yeah, these things, you know, you may look at it and it may come up. It's all right, it's fine, don't beat yourself up about it. And just change it and just go, oh yeah, I got into the negative spiel there in my mirror talk. But it's kind of putting it into a positive spin in the mirror talk. So walk away from the mirror or leave the mirror going, yeah, but I'm doing well for my age, or well, so what? Do you know what? I could go for a walk and maybe, you know, improve on that, or, you know, and it may make me feel a little bit more energetic. Leave the mirror, basically, this inner talk. You're amazing, you're a walking miracle, you are divine, both divine and human, you are gorgeous, you are beautiful, you are happy, you are joyous, you are creative, you are amazing. And kind of not really go into the physical attributes, kind of like, okay, yeah, I've done that. But I'm going to go into the spiritual aspect of me, which is intrinsically who I am. I am a walking miracle. Because what we all are is made from the same material, which is the frequency of love, which is the highest vibrational energy that there is. And that is what you are. So basically you are this big ball of love energy. So when we are kind of like negative, we are coming away from who we are intrinsically, and the body will go, I'm reminding you, you're going to get those aches and pains wherever it is, because I'm reminding you, you are not doing what you should be doing as a human being, which is being just a big bundle and ball of love, no matter what that is in your day to day, whatever it should look like. You've come away from who you are. So it's just be a little bit more positive in that mirror talk. And at first you'll be kind of like, yeah, I'm beautiful. Oh yeah, I'm amazing. Yeah, fantastic. And that's day one. And that's fine. That's okay. If you're not feeling it quite on that day, that's fine. Move on to day two. Do the same thing day two. So what? You might not be, yeah, I'm beautiful. Day three, you know, you may be thinking the same thing. And it could take a week, it could take a month, it could take whatever, but just hang on in there, keep doing it. And at some point, your body will start to clear, because you are starting to come back into your frequency of love in its entirety, and it's accepting you for whatever is coming up is okay. If you're having that negative day, that's okay as well. Have that negative day, you know, completely trash yourself or whatever, but then kind of like be aware of whatever you are doing, and check yourself before you wreck yourself, and kind of okay, right, I've done that now, I've done with beating myself up, it's not feeling nice, I'm going to try something new. So this is just kind of like giving the mind just a different perspective, just something different to try as an exercise. So basically what you're actually doing is giving yourself a blessing there. So this is a blessing in ritual. So when you tell yourself, I'm amazing, I'm fantastic, I'm miraculous, I'm divine, and you can do this to water, you can do it to food, you can do it to whatever it is. And energetically, when I have tested water, people, foods, things, any situations, on the bioresonance machine, basically what happens is it clears out toxins and pathogens, and that is literally from water, from foods, from cells. So you are the master of your experience. So it's just, this is just something new. Try it. You know, you maybe think this is a whole load of baloney. That's fine. Give it a whirl. 7 days, what have you got to lose? It's free. So that's what I found. It energetically cleanses whatever it is that is getting the blessing. So if your water is 90% cells as well, and you know, in religion, people have been doing this to holy water for years, just giving it a blessing. And you know, what do they do? Christians, things like that, they get a blessing. And literally, it is scientifically, energetically clearing out pathogens and toxins. Quite interesting. Hopefully science will kind of like release this information at some point in the future so everyone else can enjoy it, and if not, I'm here doing it now. So then you can kind of like go into a little bit further investigation if you want to choose to investigate further as to when actually did I really allow myself to beat myself up. And it's probably maybe a time when we allowed other people to beat us up too. So we have our self-respect boundary, and if the self-respect boundary is a little bit floppy, your guts are going to be out. So let's kind of like look after our gut health, and put the self-respect boundary up. So it's everyone's right to be respected, but if you don't respect yourself, then you can't respect other people in your vicinity. And let's face it, we all want to walk around thinking, yeah, I want to love that individual, I want to respect that individual, but it's not quite happening. What's going on? And basically it's because you're not loving and respecting yourself. You've always got to start with you. You are the one that you are taking responsibility for, and then the energy follows onto other people. So once you start respecting and loving yourself, then you can respect and love other people, and only then. So always start with you. So self-respect boundaries. So I'm just going to do a little test on myself to see kind of like when these belief programs set in, at what age for me. So at what age did I learn to put my self-respect barrier down? So was it the age of 1? Oh wow, 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, the self-respect barrier went down really early on in my life. So obviously we learn from our parents and we learn from society. So at 1 year old, I didn't know any better. So this was a belief system that came down from my beautiful parents. And again, it's to hold no negativity or animosity towards my parents as well, because this belief system will have come down from their parents and their parents and their parents. And normally when I test the body, it's normally 4th or 5th generation, where everything kind of like these really limiting belief systems seem to have come in. Which is really interesting. So we hold these beliefs in our DNA. So as well, kind of like disease and health susceptibility, kind of like, oh, my grandfather had it, my mother had it, my father had it. Basically, you can unwind this susceptibility. Basically, it's because you've learned a belief system. So it's belief systems that are held in the DNA. So if you change the belief system, you're actually changing your DNA as well. DNA isn't fixed, it is changeable. And it's changeable with thoughts, beliefs, behaviours. So you can change your health condition by your thoughts, beliefs, behaviours. The thought always precedes the matter. Always, always, always. I spent about 4 years wondering, does the health of a person, does the pathogens of a person actually change the belief systems of a person? Or is it the belief systems that invite the pathogens to the person? And it's the belief systems The thought precedes the matter every time. So you change your mindset, you change your body, and they are definitely linked. So just changing the physicality of a person, it's not actually going to be a curative healing state. You need to do mind and body. They are both connected, and particularly the mind first. So sometimes if you just get rid of the belief, or if you reprogram and honour those programs, those old programs, but reprogram into different ones, into more positive ones that are serving you more and nurturing you more, bringing yourself back to your intrinsic self, which is love, not fear, coming out of fear programs, then you will find the body will be in a more balanced and neutral state. So this is really important right now. So yes, you can change disease susceptibilities from our ancestors. So hence this is why they don't test for the breast cancer gene anymore. Because just by simply kind of like looking into nutrients and belief systems can basically prevent you from developing something that, and I'm in the family gene category. I haven't been tested, but my auntie has had it, my grandmother died from it, great grandmother died from it, so it is in the category. But luckily I check my nutrients, vitamins and minerals. If I need anything extra, I will supplement. By the way, meditation as well actually balances all of your nutrients, your vitamins and minerals. So I've done tests before and after. So somebody that's been out on vitamins and minerals before a meditation, they do a meditation, all comes back into alignment. They release allergies and the vitamins and minerals seem to balance and come back into alignment again. So really, really interesting. And the breath work does the same thing as well. So we are more powerful and more in control of our own bodies than we actually have been told or whether we realise. So this is why I'm here trying to give the information that I have learned over the last 10 years. I'm enjoying amazing health, brilliant health, have no fears around my health, and it would be lovely to share my privileged position with other people so they can also feel very privileged and very strong as well. So I will leave this with you. So this is the reason why your inner chat is really important. And as well, when you are kind of like in that mirror going, look at the state of that backside, look at the cellulite on that. You know, it's kind of like, would you say that to an innocent child? You know, would you say, you clumsy, stupid idiot, to an innocent child? You know, you may do in reactivity, but when you think about it, you think, oh, I wish I hadn't said that. And you've got more likelihood of holding back from what you would say to an innocent child. So, or you would say it and think, I shouldn't have said that. So it's kind of like really have that training of thought with yourself as well. You know, would you tell that innocent child that his backside looks humongous? Would you tell that innocent child kind of like, look at the moobs on that? You know, would you say, 4-year-old, look at your cellulite? You know, you just wouldn't. Or, you know, would you tell like a 6-year-old, do you know, you're just really stupid, you're really thick, you're really unlucky, you know, you've got nothing going for you, have you really? You know, would you actually have this dialogue with an innocent child? And you know that you wouldn't. So just watch your inner dialogue with what's going on with you. And awareness is king. Awareness is king and being in the kingdom. So I will leave that with you, my 10 years of what I've learned. And I love you lots. Take care. Have an amazing, lucky, brilliant, divine, gorgeous day. And thank you for sharing this time to listen to this. Take care, guys. Bye.